Good morning and welcome to the children and families of St. Barnabas. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mums at St. Barnabas, and I hope that all of you and your families are doing well this morning. I wanted to talk to you this morning for our children's talk about one of the lives of the saints. I know earlier in the year, in the Sunday school year, you started to talk about the lives of the saints. And if you remember, there was one Sunday at church where we all came to church and we sat at different tables in the parish hall according to our birthdays. And a lot of people had brought cake, so we each got to have a piece of cake with the people who have birthdays on the same month as our birthdays do. So I wanted to talk to you about the saint that we celebrate in May, and her name is Saint Julian of Norwich. Now, Saint Julian was born sometime in the late 1300s, which is in the Middle Ages, a very long time ago. And she comes from a part of the world in England called Norwich, so that's why we have the flag in this basket that has all of the things to do with St. Julian. Now, one of the things that's very interesting about St. Julian is that she lived by herself, completely by herself, in a little stone room attached to the church in the town where she was from. And so she spent all of her days by herself, completely in prayer and meditation and thinking. And so that was really her ministry, was to pray and think about God. And so people would come from the town and they would come to the window in her little room and they would ask for her advice. They would ask her to come and pray with them. And so really she had this ministry of being very quiet and being very wise. And one of the things that she did was she wrote a book, which was the first book that was ever written in English by a woman. So she's very special. And she would write about the things that she had come to understand about God. And there's a story in one of her books about her receiving this message from God, and God placed in her hand this hazelnut, and she asked about what did it mean, this hazelnut, and God replied that everything matters to God and everything will endure because God loves it. And so that's why we have this little hazelnut in the basket. Now, the story continues because St. Julian was someone who also referred to God as a mother, because motherhood, she said, means wisdom and lovingness. And so that's pretty special to hear on Mother's Day, that God encompasses all of these different aspects, and that it is the love of God really which endures. And so when we talk about St. Julian, we ask, what was it about her that is so special? And so we remember St. Julian because she was quiet and she was wise for God. So that's a little snapshot of one of the lives of the saints, St. Julian. And I know that when you have been in Sunday school and doing godly play, that sometimes you reflect on the life of the saint that you've heard, and you've drawn a picture, or maybe you've taken some modeling clay and made an image of the saint, or maybe the hazelnut, or maybe anything that you've heard. So this is your task, if you'd like to do it for the week, is to reflect on the life of Saint Julian and think about how you too might be quiet and wise for God. I hope that you have a really good week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.